In today's video, I will be revealing my entire strategy for how you can build financial freedom for yourself. This is a topic that I have spent countless hours thinking about because I used to be in your shoes. I wanted financial freedom and I didn't have it. And when I didn't have it, it was the only thing I really thought about. If this is something you're interested in, I highly recommend you watch the whole video. I promise I've put a lot of effort into this video and thought. And if you can absorb some of my mindset, I truly believe this will be very beneficial for you. So relax for 20 minutes, maybe take out a pen and paper and start strategizing on how you can achieve financial freedom and potentially change the rest of your life. Okay, so let's get started. This video is going to be broken into 3 different sections: mindset, income generation, and relocation. I'm sure I don't need to sell you on why financial freedom is desirable, but it goes without saying that having more freedom, time, and money benefits your life. You're not a slave to your 9-to-5 job. You have expendable money where you can help a friend or a loved one. You can donate to causes that you believe in, and you're able to throw money at problems that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. I'm also going to give away some good side hustles and businesses that you can start. Okay, so the first segment that we'll talk about today often gets overlooked. People are quick to brush this information off or roll their eyes and move on, but it's actually very important. It's probably the most important point of all, and that is your mindset. I don't care what situation is, I don't care how educated you are, and I don't care how smart you are. If you have a weak mindset, everything that I discuss in this video is going to be tougher for you. I do credit some of my success to the fact that I was raised by strong-minded parents, and if that's not your situation, that's okay. It's always something you can work on. This is a skill like any other. Some people are more advanced than others, but if you really want to achieve financial freedom, you need to prioritize this. Now, this may come as a surprise to some of you, but the number one thing that I recommend people do when wanting to make a change in their life is start to focus on their physical fitness and physical health. As you probably know, mind and body are linked, and having a healthy body makes it so much easier to have a healthy mind. In today's age, when I look at people who are building things, who are successful, who are financially free, they very often are in great shape and they've made fitness a consistent routine in their daily lives. Getting into good shape requires consistency, dedication, hard work, and pushing your boundaries. Fitness also inspires motivation and self-confidence and is often the first step that people take towards bettering their lives. Getting in good shape is actually one of the easiest ways to prove to yourself that with hard work and perseverance, you can change the physical reality of your life. Okay, so I've stressed the physical fitness thing enough. I think you guys get the point now, but if you are not currently in a good fitness routine, I highly recommend it. But now let's move on to more of the actual mindset stuff. So the reason that mindset is so important is that your mind carries all your ideas, strategies, and creative workflow for helping you actually achieve your goal, which is to have your income exceed your monthly expenses. If you're constantly stressed, tired, distracted, or quit at the first sign of failure, how will you ever persevere with your business in order to get to the point where you're financially free? A lot of this mindset stuff is just getting back to the basics. Sleep, nutrition, who are you hanging out with? Are you cutting out toxic people? But there's one factor in today's society that I actually believe is more important than everything else, and that is eliminating distractions from social media. Throughout history, up until the last 20 years, the people who succeeded were the ones that could gather enough information and have an information advantage over other people. That's because in the past, information was quite scarce and you weren't constantly bombarded with news and social media. However, in today's day and age, there is an overabundance of information, and the people that succeed are the ones that are actually able to block out the bad noise and actually focus. So pull out your phone, go to this screen right here, and look at screen time. How much time are you spending on your phone every day? And make it a weekly goal to reduce this week over week. This is the number one killer of dreams in today's society. And a few more mental aspects to consider. Learn to live cheaply. The goal here is financial freedom, not keeping up with the Joneses and buying the newest iPhone. Open your mind up to change. If what you've been doing hasn't been working, you have to be open to changing your ways. Become comfortable getting outside of your comfort zone. Become more open and engaging with everyday people. Have a conversation with the person at the grocery store. You never know. They might have something important that will lead to success later on in your life. And lastly, become a sponge to learning. Take in all the good information that you can and reject any of the bad information. But I said it once and I'll say it again. Your number one priority is cutting out distractions. And number one on that list is social media. But also consider cutting out toxic people, people that don't want the best for you, or bad information sources like the news. Okay, so that's the mindset portion, a very crucial first step. Now let's move on to income generation. So once again, the main goal in achieving financial freedom is to have an income that exceeds your monthly expenses. You must also keep your income above your monthly expenses and not raise your expenses along with your income. So the bigger the difference between your monthly expenses and your income, the more financial freedom you're building. So let's get into this. There's two main ways that you can start to build income for yourself. So when it comes to income building, there's three main ways you can make that happen. Firstly is a job, but I don't need to explain that. You already know what a job is. Second is a side hustle. And third is your own business. So depending on how much savings you have or how much income you are currently generating, your plan of action will be a little bit different. If you have a steady job but no savings, you should focus on reducing your expenses and building up a side income. If you have no income and no savings, you should probably go get a job. And if you have a job and you have savings, you can continue to work that job and build a side hustle. You can continue to work that job and start a side business, or you can be risky and quit your job and invest that capital into building a business. But the first thing I recommend everyone do is learn a new skill, hopefully one that you think will be profitable and useful for the coming years, keeping in mind that AI is replacing jobs left, right, and center. If you are open to relocating, consider a business that can be done from anywhere in the world, such as a job on your laptop, or choose skills that are applicable in many different countries. In general, side hustles are better for building spare cash, where businesses are more of a long-term play that have much higher payoff, but more risk. I'll give you guys a few options here for side hustles and businesses, but you can always be creative and come up with your own. So for side hustles, you have flipping. Maybe that's online or in person. You can go to garage sales, buy couches for $50 and sell them for $300. Finding any type of arbitrage in person or online where you can make a profit. Coding, although with AI advancements and the rate that AI is improving, I might stay away from this one today. And then some other options are writing, video editing, trading, or content creation for yourself or a business. Some location independent options for building a business are my personal favorite, selling on Amazon with Amazon FBA, an agency such as marketing, social media, or a design agency. Dropshipping is another common one, although not my personal favorite in 2023. Online coaching is another good one. I know a lot of people do fitness and nutrition, and I even know some people who teach English online. And lastly, if you have any area of expertise that is of importance, you can do consulting for people individually or for businesses. A lot of these business models will probably force you to start small with low prices, and then as you grow and improve, you can start to charge higher and higher prices. The most important thing though is to choose one path and stick to it. You're not going to see results in 1 month necessarily. It may take you a year, it may take you 3. Just stick with it. If you chose the business model, it was for good reason. Stay consistent, stay persistent, and you will achieve what you're trying to do. And then once you have your side hustle or business set up, just focus on scaling and automating. Become better at what you do, charge higher prices, grow your sales, and then automate as much as possible by either hiring people or using software. This gives you more time and money back in your pocket so that you can continue to grow and become more financially free. Okay, excellent. We've covered mindset and business. I know other people have covered these topics. However, a lot of them miss the last topic that I'm about to talk about now. And for those of you who followed my journey, you know that I followed this step myself, and that is relocating. Now, if you are the type of person who would do anything to achieve their goals, and those type of people tend to be attracted to my videos, you may be open to the idea of relocating. And if you're not, well, let me try to change your mind. So the two main benefits to relocating to a new country are cost of living differences. You can move from the US over to somewhere like Thailand and instantly cut your expenses by 2 or 3 times. And the second major advantage is the ability to drastically reduce your taxes. Earning $5,000 a month here in the UAE, where I currently live, is the same as earning $9,000 a month back home in Canada. When you can combine a lower cost of living living with no taxes or reduced taxes, that is the perfect storm for improving your life and reaching financial freedom. Now you might be wondering, okay, well, maybe I'd consider moving. Which country should I go to? Now take everything I say with a grain of salt, but a few countries that I think have a good combination of low taxes, safety, and reasonable cost of living are here, the UAE, which is actually the most expensive. You also have Thailand, Georgia, Malaysia, Portugal, Romania, as well as some countries in Central and South America, as well as the Caribbean. Keep in mind that if you are an American, you are taxed globally, no matter where you live. I'm not a tax expert. None of this should be taken as tax advice. There are exemptions for Americans. You should look into the Foreign Earned Income Exclusion Act. I think you get something like your first $110,000 tax-free if you're living outside the country for over 11 months. But like I said, talk to a tax expert. I'm no tax expert. Another great benefit to relocating to somewhere such as here in the UAE or maybe Thailand is that you actually meet a lot of other people in a more similar life situation that you're in. So when you're in Thailand and you see another foreigner, you guys already have something in common. You're both traveling, and typically they're also building an income on the internet. So you now both have that in common. In my everyday life where I'm from in Canada, maybe 1 out of every 200 people is doing anything remotely interesting in their career. But in Thailand, when I met foreigners, probably half of them were doing something interesting. They were doing some type of online business model, and these were great people to network with, learn from, discuss, and hang out with. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm from a first world country. I could never move. Well, firstly, UAE, amazing country, low tax, safe, it's great. Secondly, if you live in somewhere like Georgia, Thailand, some of these really cheap countries, you have the tax advantage, you have the cost of living advantage, and you now have more expendable income that you can improve your life with, such as having cleaners, cooks, people to wash your clothes. You can actually pay for a lot of time-saving things that can help you grow your income more. And truly, these countries are great in their own ways. Just because you've never been there or you've seen something online doesn't mean a lot of these countries out there are bad places. What you should do is go there and decide for yourself. Worst case scenario, you don't like it and you move back home. Big deal. So while you don't have to relocate, that is kind of my added bonus to this whole video. I think that you should strongly consider it, especially if you have goals of making several million per year. I mean, if I was making $1 million a year in Canada, I'd be paying probably $550K of that in tax. Whereas here in the UAE, after some administration fees and things like that, I basically am tax-free. So as you can see, the benefits of relocating grow exponentially as your income increases. And you often have the benefit of living a better life because of a lower cost of living, and so you can afford to live better. Or you get to network and meet other more like-minded individuals than the people that you live with back in your home country. Following as many of these things that I mentioned in this video is a great way to take your first few steps towards financial freedom. Like I said, your number one goal should be getting your income to the point where it exceeds your cost of living. Once you're at that point, keep growing your income and keep your cost of living where it was when you had a lower income. Don't feel the need to splurge or treat yourself because you've all of a sudden earned a little bit more money. Becoming financially free and reducing your taxes gives you more time, money, and freedom to do what you want when you want and contribute to causes that you believe in this world. Apply common sense to all my recommendations. I'm not necessarily telling you to move to this country or that. And as always, you should do tax research with a tax professional, not take advice from YouTube. If you guys have any specific questions about business models or cost of living or countries, I'm happy to answer and explain everything that I've done in my own life. I want to give you as much value as possible on this YouTube channel. So like I said, comment down below and stay tuned for future videos where I'll be breaking down the different types of side incomes and businesses that you can start to improve your life. That all being said, thank you for checking this video out. I appreciate you if you stayed all the way till the end. Subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.